Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with selections for Saturday, the 20th of May. Well, what an interesting day. Unfortunately, the staking plan that I suggested didn't really prove very fruitful because I didn't suggest any singles. But for everybody that may have backed the big price one, the big price winner of Friday, well, you could have got 40 to 1. And in running, and I'm not talking about prices in running, watching it in running, it was travelling well, and I'm thinking you're on the wrong side. It's all happening down the near side, and then it just took off and won nicely in the end. There was also another one, and I can't remember what it was called now. It was ridden by Dougie Costello, and it was travelling like the winner. It's probably the best travelling horse selection we had all day. It came sixth, payout first five, 33 to 1. So ultimately, what we had Sweet Reward in the first. Was it Shorthead 11 to 1? Second, um, I'm just off the top of my head now. And then obviously we had the 40 to 1 or winner or whatever price you got, 25s, 33s. And just before that, we had a 33 to 1 sixth, only paying out on the first five. So even though we're back to 40 to 1 winner or whatever price you got, it still feels like an unfortunate day. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to talk about Saturday selections. Obviously, in the last video, I mentioned about looking at flat stats, maybe going for the free trial, not the free trial, the £10 trial or whatever subscription it is. And all I'm going to do, I'm going to put the Buy Me a Coffee link at the bottom of this video. It's in the description. If you want to, it's purely voluntary. Just chuck a couple of quid in. I don't want to see any 10s, any 15. Please, just a couple of quid. Because all we're going to do, I'm going to add to it whatever we kind of make, just to round it up. And I'm going to try a subscription, whether it's 7 days, which is a tenner, or whether it's a month for 35 quid, depending on how much we actually get. And I'm not saying it's going to improve the tips. I could follow it. I could use flat stats, and it not really work for me. But it's worth a trial. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'll probably kick in the subscription on something like Tuesday, and I'll be looking at the weather to see if it changes. And then I think that's the biggest utilization of flat stats if there's a change in the weather and stuff like that. Because obviously a lot of horses can be, you know what I mean. They can be not suited by a change in the going, and then that's where we will have the advantage. Or if we're talking about red car, it could be low numbers again, all that kind of stuff. So I'm probably going to subscribe on the Tuesday. So I'll leave the link in the description. So then once any deposits, if any at all, I don't mind if there's no deposits. And if there is, I'll withdraw it, and then she'll see how much we've got. Then pay whatever subscription it'll be on the Tuesday. And obviously, I'll keep you all informed. I appreciate all the thumbs up. And I know I'm just rambling again now. But anyway, the link is in the description. Anyway, you've got already we're 3 minutes in. Just give me a like, please, if you will. I think all these likes must be actually giving us a bit of good luck, because we've had some, I say good luck, but we've also been extremely unlucky as well. But anyway, let's get into it. I tell you what, Thirsk is the place to be tomorrow. I fancy some horses, right? I can really fancy them, and they can still come last, don't get me wrong. But these horses tick virtually every box that require ticking for me. Doesn't mean they'll win, doesn't mean they'll come placed, but I really like the look of them. So let me get into it. So the stake is £19.50 for me. This is probably my main bet, really. There will be two bets. There will be horses from another, from around the cards, and that will be in the description below. So visit the description below where you will see the rest of the bet. But this is the first bet and what I class as the main bet. So I've had a 25 pence each way lucky 31 and 20 pence each way doubles. Comes to £19.50. So the first selection is Tinto. The reason why it looks like I haven't taken any of the prices is because I selected these so I didn't forget to add them. So basically this was before the markets were formed. So the first selection is Tinto at 9 to 1 in the 342 at Thirsk, paying 4 places instead of 3. He won this race last year, beat Rathbone. Rathbone is also in this race. I believe the third may also be in this race, but that's regardless. I think Rathbone's got a decent chance, but I think Tinto's the one again. It likes fast ground, but it's also been running, and it's ran twice on slow ground this year. Doesn't want it, but it's shown a huge improvement last time. I think it's crying out for this race. I think it's crying out for quicker ground, and I think it's the one to beat. 9-1 is it's ridiculous. Right, Swiss Ace at 25-1 in the 17 minutes past 4 at Thirsk, paying 6 places instead of 4. This horse has got lots of potential, but they've completely messed around with it. It's a typical Ruth Carr horse that pops up at a decent price. It's plummeted in the weights, or in the ratings, should I say. It's been running on the all-weather. If it hates the all-weather, it's ridiculously well handicapped. I believe it will want the quicker ground, because the last few times it has ran on the turf, it's been on the slower side. Personally, I think it's got a huge chance. This should not be 25-1. And for people that subscribe regularly or watch the videos, you will know when I say this should not be 25-1. They're normally shorter and they normally run better or well, in my opinion. That's how I tend to find it. So the third selection is Cheese the One at 14-1 in the 4.52 at Thirsk, paying 6 places instead of 4. I backed this last time. It was prominent. They didn't go a fast pace. It got outpaced and it flew again. I think it's once again it's a poor race, and I think it's got every chance. 14-1 is too big. The fourth selection is Copper and 5 at 11-1 in the 5.25 at Thirsk, paying 5 places instead of 3. And finally, Frog and Toad at 20-1 in the 5.58 at Thirsk, paying 5 places instead of 3. This is a poor race, and it plummeted actually in the quality of the races that it's been running in. This is by far the worst it's running for quite a while. I could be getting confused with another horse, but I do believe this horse ran in the Thirsk. Is it the Thirsk Hunt Cup that was won by Radana last year? Well, that's head and shoulders above this race. This horse won at a race at Thirsk, and it's got a ridiculously good chance. 20-1. I don't know what the odds compiler is, but in my opinion, it should be about 8 max. So those are the selections. I've got another bet which I fancy just as much, but this is probably not just as much. I like the horses, otherwise I wouldn't have them. But this one, I find it really interesting. The Thirsk race card. I love big fields, and all the horses I've just mentioned have got absolutely outstanding chances. So those are the horse racing bets. Go to the description. You'll see the buy me a coffee link. Your choice, whatever you want to do. Then scroll further down, and you will see the rest of the bets. I think there's either 5 or 6 selections, and you will also see the football bet underneath. So we're 8 minutes in. Give me a like if you will, or a subscribe. That's absolutely fine. Or even share it on your social media, or let's say Charlie's tipped to 40-1 and chuck it on your Facebook or whatever you want to do. Let's try and get a few more eyes on the videos if we can. I really appreciate all the help, all the comments. Feel free to make any more comments in the comments section. I do enjoy having a good read. So the very best of luck, and I mean the very, very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.